Hello and welcome to today's video. A year or so ago, I can't remember exactly when, I reviewed this pen, the Jinhao 82. I think I reviewed it in the light blue version. This pen kind of is a bit of a game changer for that low end of Jinhao. Now, the simple plastic pen, it is clearly modeled here off the Sailor Pro Gear and Pro Gear Slim and all of that kind of stuff. But it is a very great pen at its price and comes in lots of great finishes and all of that kind of stuff. Then they released this, the Jinhao 82 Mini, and this is the pen I am reviewing today. So looking at them side by side, and I'll show them in the size comparison, you can see it is a smaller version there of the 82, and it is a pocket pen that opens up to a full-size pen. Sailor have a version very similar to this as well. Just putting it out there. Okay, this is the white and grey version. There are a number of different colour options, transparent versions, different colour combinations, all that kind of stuff. Very, very nice. Let's talk about the parts and features, do a writing sample, and some pros and cons. So, it is a simple white, well, ivory really, kind of coloured cream top, gold band with the clip on it. The clip is stiff but usable. The cap swells out to the centre band that reads Jinhao, and that is it. Little bevel down there onto the coloured body, which tapers to a gold ring, and then the white end cap. It is a screw cap that comes off in about 1 1/3 turns, so pretty decent. And it is a smaller pen like this. Smooth threads, gold ring there, ivory coloured section again, and then the small Jinhao nib, which is the same nib as on the 82 and a number of other Jinhao pens like this. Obviously the pen posts, and it posts very well, making it a small full-size pen. This is not a big pen, even when it's posted, I wouldn't say it's full size. It is a smaller pen, and that's absolutely fine. This is a cartridge converter pen, and it uses that sort of Chinese sort of standard size. So you unscrew the body and you get a converter with it. This is a special converter made for this pen, and it is a smaller converter that fits into that pen model. So they've made a nice converter to make sure that you can use any ink, and that's what I would do with this. I wouldn't even bother with cartridges. It makes a very nice pen, and it secures down nicely onto an O-ring, so it's all very, very secure. This is a very simple, clean little pen that you get a lot of bang for your buck with. For the first size comparison, I'm just going to show it alongside its big brother, the 82, and then the Lamy Safari. You can see it is a very small pen. Uncapped, absolutely tiny. Probably smaller than you would feel comfortable writing with posted. And then posted, it's still small, but it's at a usable length like this. Much smaller still than the 82. The other pen I wanted to compare it to was the Kaweco Sport, which is probably the standard, most popular pocket pen worldwide. It's actually a tiny bit longer there than the Kaweco Sport in this form. Unposted, it's smaller still. It's a little pen. One great thing about the Sport is that when it is posted, it comes in at a very comfortable length. You can see here the Jinhao 82 Mini is just like a bit shorter, about a centimetre shorter. So you do definitely feel that smaller pen in the hand. So what are the dimensions of the Jinhao 82 Mini? Well, it is 107 millimeters when it's capped. It is 95 when it is uncapped. So you can see there in my hand, it is quite small. If you're ticking something off a to-do list, maybe. Perfectly okay, but very small. Posted, it's 127, so still on the smaller side. Probably too small for some hands, but if you are after a smaller pen in your hand and a nice lightweight pen, this is a good option. The section is about 10 millimeters in the middle, it's about 14 around the cap. So it's not a thin pen, it's definitely not even a slim pen, it's just a smaller pen. Now, the pen weighs 19 grams in all, so it is nice and lightweight. It is mostly plastic. The only metal being, of course, the nib and some of the rings and the cap clip and things like that. It's a very lightweight plastic pen. 10 grams in the body, 9 in the cap. Now, normally, if you were putting half the pen's weight on the back of the pen with the cap, the balance would be off. But this pen is so small that all the weight still sits in the front part of your hand. It's actually very comfortable. I enjoy writing with this pen actually quite a lot, but it is on the smaller side. So if you are conscious of small pens not working for you, maybe just look at one of the bigger options. Time for a writing sample now with the Jinhao 82 Mini. This has a steel Jinhao brand medium nib. It does come, I think you can get extra fine, fine, medium, and maybe even a couple of those little specialty nibs that these Chinese brands are now starting to bring out. The ink in this today is a De Trementis ink. It is one of my favorites, Sherlock Holmes. Love this ink. I've really enjoyed it in this pen. It's a lovely sort of dark blue, almost grey blue kind of colour. It's relatively smooth. It's not the smoothest pen I've ever used. But it's smooth enough. It's relatively wet. It's reliable and consistent. Quick writing. Not designed to be legible, of course, but no issues. Jinhao have been doing really, really great things with their basic pen line. This nib has been the same nib as was on the 992, I think it was, and of course the 82 now, and a range of other pens. It is a consistent writer. Reverse writing is possible for a couple of words. It's not a soft nib. Don't try and flex it. But, you know, it is a great nib at the price point. These pens, like, I know that the big elephant in the room with this pen model is the fact that it is a copy of the Sailor pens. We all know that. But at this price point, you're getting a pen that writes really, really well. And if you're able to get around the fact that it is modeled off Sailor, you are getting a pen that will write really well. Are you writing with a pen because it is a great tool for writing, or do you want the status symbol? These are all questions you have to ask yourself when getting a pen like this. And I'm not going to give you the answers, because those are answers you need to come to yourself. So what does this pen cost? Well, once again, this is from eBay, from AliExpress, from all those kinds of retailers. The pen price varies, depending on the seller, depending on the version, depending on the nib, all that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, you can get this to Australia, including postage, for between 4 and 12 Australian dollars. At that $12 price point, I think it's a remarkable pen. At the $4 price point, I think it is a mind-blowing pen. I think I paid somewhere around the $6, $7 for this pen, and I am over the moon. The way it writes, the way it wrote the moment I inked it. You know, how many times do we get pens that don't write like that from the outset? Yet this one, at $6 Australian dollars, including postage, wrote beautifully, and it's got a nice color scheme and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, but let's talk about some pros and cons. Really, the only con I have for this pen, the only con. Now, aside from the fact that it is a smaller pen and that's not going to fit everyone's hand or everyone's desire, but it will be perfect for some people. So that's not a pro or a con. That is just what you want. The biggest con for this pen is that it is, this line of pens, the 82 and the 82 Mini, are modeled off Sailor. You can see that. You can see that in the profile. You can see that in the shape. Yes, the clip is slightly different. Yes, the center band is slightly different. All of that kind of stuff. But they are definitely modeled off the Sailor Pro Gear. And that is that's just an ugly truth. So once again, that is a question for you as the buyer. Can you do that? Can you see yourself buying that pen? But there are lots of pros with a pen like this. I'm going to start with the fact that there are a lot of cute finishes of this pen. There are so many different versions. I like these ones that have like the white or the ivory with the color on the barrel. It's a classic kind of fountain pen look, and like Laban did it really well with the 325 model and all of that. This is just a nice looking pen. I think it looks nice. You know, posted, I think it looks really well balanced. It's a nice looking pen. Lots of great finishes. I love the fact that it comes with a converter and that they purposefully made a converter to fit this smaller pen. Yes, you're going to have a slightly reduced ink capacity, but it's a converter for a pen this size, and a twist converter. So, like, hats off to them. Really, really well done. But biggest pro with these pens, other than the fact that you're buying it for less than 10 Australian dollars, is the fact that the nib writes super well and super consistently, and it just writes so easily out of the box, consistently, reliably. I never had to do anything. I've not tuned it, and it's writing relatively wet, consistent, good, strong, medium line, and just a really easy pen to write with. So if you're after a smaller pen that isn't going to break your budget, that you can carry around without any concern, I suggest you check out the Jinhao 82 Mini. It's a lovely little pen. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you would like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, whatever they may be, and I'll talk to you soon.